business development manager, and Bruce Eitman is our field technical manager. And so both of us have been with the company for 10 plus years, and so we've seen a lot of embedded applications. So very exciting for us personally to watch this kind of build out. Real quick snapshot about Eurotech. We currently are under the hood in more than 20 Fortune 500 companies' systems. So we do embedded computers for GE Medical for their ventilators. We did about 400,000 embedded systems for Life Fitness treadmills. So we have a really deep, rich history of doing across vertical market embedded systems. We got 20 plus years. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. And then we've kind of vectored in on 4 vertical markets or use cases where most of our revenue is being generated. Industrial, logistics, transportation, defense and security, healthcare. Each one of these vertical markets, we have tier 1, 2, and 3 customers, either doing something COTS off the shelf or they're coming to us to build out something specific for them. We're a global company. We're traded on the Italian Stock Exchange. Finmeccanica is one of our biggest stakeholders. And what we've been able to do over the last 5 years is build out a support mechanism to deploy products globally. And that's an important thing that we're hearing from our early adopters of the M2M technologies. We got our history in the M2M space building out these embedded systems. And one of the things that we've realized is this is not easy. The historical M2M application is, one producer of some type of data on a device, and that's typically where Eurotech has played, making an embedded device or a gateway, and then handing that data off to an enterprise application or a business application. And one of the things that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years is the need and the complexity of this to build out to make that data available to the masses. And so this is our roots. We have 20 years history of building out these simple applications connecting a sensor to a actionable data or an application. What we're seeing now is the complexity of it. Taking a sensor or a camera and making that data available to one consumer of the data, but then have all kinds of different ways to get that data there. So we've been working on building out a key building block is multi-service gateways. And so Intel has kind of coined the term smart service gateways. We're a huge advocate of leveraging that technology and having a purpose-built device at the edge that can aggregate all kinds of data and then use best-in-class tools, operating systems, and frameworks to make that data available to the consumers of the data. And so another thing that we're seeing is companies are coming to us and they want to deploy a project initially in North America, and then they want to take it to South America or Asia. So that is adding another part of complex to the equation. And then compounded that, the data is not just going to one application, it's going to all kinds of consumers of the data. And so what we've been working on and building out is a solution for that. And what we're calling is the Everywhere Cloud integration platform. And the technology that we've put together has evolved over the last 5 years on customers telling us what the requirements. And we've scaled it out, and now we've been deploying it for the last 2 years. And what we're leveraging is best-in-class building blocks. And so we're big advocates of open standards, all the way down to the sensor on the devices, the frameworks on the smart service gateways, and then the building blocks in our cloud platform. Today, our platform is being hosted in Amazon, but the same building blocks can be hosted premise. So one of the earlier speakers had mentioned, security is a big deal. We hear customers tell us that they will never put their information in the public cloud. Someday it may get to that point. So we've architected our platform so that it can be leveraged. Today you take the advantages of the cloud, but it can move into premise. So the building blocks that we have in our Everywhere Cloud is something that can move into a premise scenario. And then the business applications, we've been partnering with great companies to help us build out, and our customers in some cases build out the visualization and the deployment of those applications. So here are some of the hotspots for what we're evangelizing. Open protocols. You may not or may know that Eurotech was a co-author of the M2M protocol with IBM in '97. It's called MQTT. That is the basis of our pipe to the sensors and devices. One of my jobs in the last year has been putting that client everywhere. So any device, anywhere, this technology is open. It is not proprietary to Eurotech or any of the other advocates, companies like Cisco. Eurotech is on the board, IBM. There's 7 companies that are taking it to Oasis to be standardized and leveraged across architectures and industries. We have no predefined notion of what that data is. It can be sensor data, it can be camera data, and it can go up into the platform. Another big thing is it's not, the aggregators do not have to be OS specific. We're working with Microsoft implementations and we're working with Wind River Linux implementations on our smart service gateways. And so one of the things that we're working on helping customers do is to make it easy. And there's a lot of things going on here, and I don't want the walk away to be that we're solving this ourselves. We have a lot of great partners that are helping us do this. In our platform, we're doing some unique things, like we have a sophisticated rules engine. We can look at data on the fly and make decisions. We are enabling our customers to store the data for days, months, or years so they can go back and do analytics on it later. And then the really exciting thing is we have device management. So we have thousands of these devices out there now. We can control them, send down updates through our framework, and let the customer constantly improve their application and their service for their customers. And then we're making this easy. And so we're connecting very sophisticated enterprise applications to these sensors, and neither side needs to actually be experts at their specific things. So the sensor, the data that's creating the information, we get that into our integration platform and make that data available to the consumers of that information. And here's a good graphical representation of it. Producers of the data can be anything: cash registers, passenger counters, sensors, and then we're a big evangelizer of these smart service gateways, and we have them from Cortex-M microcontrollers all the way up to the highest end Atom processor, aggregating this data, and if the connection to the cloud is down, they can still handle the application. And then our integration platform, we're going to continue to build this out and then bring in partners like ThingWorx that can consume this data and do really exciting things with that data. Here's a quick partner page. We're leveraging all of these companies' technologies. This is not one of those fluff marketing. This is a technology page. We're using best-in-class components. So companies like Oracle we're partnered with because we're using their Java on our smart service gateways. Companies like IBM, we're partnering with this M2M protocol. I mentioned ThingWorx. So there's a lot of technology in our stack, and and this is sophisticated. But the benefit of it is we can service all of these types of applications. In this snapshot, every one of these is an actually deployed customer for us. So if you go across, this platform has been architected to service multiple vertical markets. So I have some examples here that we can actually walk through. So the data producers that we're seeing right now range from industrial, transportation, retail, medical. Industrial is a big one right now because we can put a smart service gateway into a factory and bypass the existing infrastructure to solve one specific problem. When the gateway gets in there, we can do things like talk to a chiller on a building via Modbus protocol so that they can remote in and get diagnostic information. But after the device is there, there's all kinds of other things that the device can do. In vending machines, we have a really big customer that came to us with a specific problem. So now we're seeing multiple vending machines getting aggregated with a smart service gateway that only has one cellular connection to the cloud. And then we can bidirectionally send updates to that device. One real cool customer of ours is a reverse vending machine. And the problem that they were trying to solve was when you bring a bottle back into the grocery store, to make that data available to their customers and their consumers of the data. And so not only did we design a smart service gateway for them, but we also handled the transaction for them so that the bringing the bottle into the store is seamless, efficient, and fast to get rid of paperwork and customer service. And so in this use case, we're not only providing a fit-for-purpose gateway, but we're also providing the infrastructure for them to get the data to Pepsi or Coca-Cola, who wants to know how many bottles are in the grocery store in real time. Okay. I'm going to speed it up so that we can actually show our demo. And so we're in retail, medical, so we have a use case where a hockey and a football helmet has a smart sensor on it, and then we're aggregating that data and making that information available to the coaches, the players, parents, and the medical community. Let's see here. And one of the kind of the appropriate things that we have here is hospitality. We're in this beautiful convention, and so we thought one of our horizontal plays was in this industry. And so, Bruce, do you want to kind of walk through an exact demonstration we have? That was me. I think that was me. That's me. So while we're going through.
While we're waiting, just for the judge's sake, you're horizontal, right? That's what you prefer?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, hopefully I showed you a good snapshot of the. While Bruce is doing this, I can tell you one project that we work with the ThingWorks team on is a smart service gateway connecting fitness equipment. And so we have an aggregator talking to multiple pieces of equipment, specifically a treadmill, and we're using legacy protocols and standards to get into the gateway, and then we're pushing that data into the ThingWorks platform and allowing them to visualize it. And so the problem that we're trying to solve there is getting, the 4 or 5 million pieces of equipment that are in the field right now connected and make that data available to the owners of the fitness center, but then also the users of the equipment. And so the ThingWorks team helped us put together the visualization demonstration.
We're going to swap over.
You want to pour some drinks for me?
So, Bill, I guess you're going to be.
Come on. Bingo.
There we go.
I'm good. Okay, so we had a customer, Bar Vision, came to us, and they have been collecting data as you pour from the bottle, and you'll notice the stoppers have a little thing sticking out of them. So it's actually a wireless stopper, or pour. I guess I'm not a mixologist. So, and they'd been collecting data, but that data was on a box in the bar, and once a day they would dump that data out and do some reporting. And they came to us and said, well, some of the bars are mobile. I think tomorrow night there's an event in the show area, and they'll have a mobile bar there. And they want to collect data from those mobile bars as well. So the first thing we did was enable them with a wireless gateway that gets their data on cellular. The next problem was they'd like to collect the data in real time. They'd like to know what's going on in the bar in real time. And what we'll show you today is that we've closed the bar. And so anything he pours now is after hours. And did Carl leave the room? And so if you go ahead and pour, so Carl's my guinea pig, and Carl should be receiving an email in about a minute telling him, as the bar owner, that somebody's pouring alcohol after hours.
Glad you've got a lot of faith in me.
And I'm assuming that you're Carl at,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I've got it.
Yeah.
EDC alerts, Eurotech, after hours pour notification.
Yeah, and so in real time, so we enabled them to get that data in real time out of the system. And the customer, in about a day, set up this web page to display that data in real time. And so from here, they can see how much is being poured. So the bar owner can, in real time, kind of keep track of their mixologist and how much they're pouring. And which is important. I was watching Bar Rescue last night, and Bar Vision is one of the sponsors of Bar Rescue. And you know, if they're over pouring, not only are they losing money on the pour, but they're going to sell fewer drinks. And so it's a lose-lose for the bar.
All right, you got 3 minutes.
You're good to me.
So I think before you wrap up on this, that Robert's here from Bar Vision, so if anybody wants to talk about this is really hot technology. We're leveraging this right now.
Great question back here.
But he was telling us he is on that Bar Rescue, and then it's also the Tilted Tilt. And so many of you guys have relationships at bars. You know, this is great technology, and one of the things that stuck with me was like 10-10-10. So it was like 10% reduction, savings, and growth for the business. So he's got a great business model, and we're leveraging our technology to make it available to consumers of the data.
What is the price point? I got children. Questions?
So what else we doing?
Go ahead, you still going?
Yeah, I'll keep going. Just real quickly, we provide a console that is a generic way for our customers to view their data. That is, they can start publishing data, and they don't have to write an app to go see if they're successful and what is happening. We give them a way to see that. This is kind of an overview page, and I like to show it because across the bottom is a real quick and easy way to get documentation, example source code, help. And I'll skip over to rules because this is how the email went out. In the gobbledygook in the box there is sort of an SQL-like statement that's monitoring the data as it comes in, and it's checking to see if it's an after-hours pour. You can see in the email addresses I added Carl to the list, and we send out the time that there were pours. So it helps them manage that the alcohol is not being used after it shouldn't be used. I'll let you go now, Carl.